Hey guys, this is Terry from Bison Farm here in northern Indiana, and today we've got to rotate some bison, including these big guys right here behind me. So we have some strong storms that are expected to hit our area, and with that comes a lot of rain. So we want to make sure that we are moving the bison to the right pastures to prevent as much damage as we possibly can here in the early spring. It can be a really dangerous time not only for us but also for the animal. Cold and windy, so stick around as we move some bison here in Indiana. When it came time to cutting this bull calf from this heifer, I didn't feel it'd be too difficult. It wasn't her calf, which always makes things a lot easier. If this had been her calf, there's no way I would have been in this corral trying to cut these two and separate them. What you can't see in this video is Ranker had the gate to the corral wide open. All this bull calf had to do was run out, and he would shut it behind it so the heifer didn't get out. And of all places for my phone to fall, it went directly into the water tank. After just a few hours, I couldn't believe it, but my phone started working again. A few seconds after knocking my phone in the water tank, this calf realized the gate was wide open and was able to come out into a holding pen that we wanted to keep him in. We wanted to release the calf out into our calf herd that was currently in the hay lot, and then we would bring the cows up and we'd release her into that herd once we get them up here to the hay lot. Now that we have this bull calf separated from the heifer outside of the corral in this makeshift pen that we have, it was time to kick him out into the calf herd and see how he's going to do. He's pretty similar in size, but we didn't feel it would be too much of an issue. After a few welcoming grunts from the herd, we felt like this bull calf was good to go. The next step was to get the heifer into our cow heifer herd that we have that's currently in pasture 7. So we'll be pushing these calves out to pasture 9 and then bringing the heifers and the cows up from pasture 7 into this hay lot. You can see here in the video, Riker and I put in these two gates together. Our alleyway is 24 feet wide, and this gives enough room for the bison as they're moving down the alleyway, and we'll go into pasture 9. Once we get them into pasture 9, then we can move the calves that are currently in the hay lot into pasture 7. After we make those two drives, the next step will be bringing the cows and heifers back out of pasture 9 down the alleyway. And as we approach pasture 7, we'll have to make sure we move the bison quickly, as sometimes it can create an issue as those calves will want to reconnect back with the cows and their mothers, which can create a lot of danger, not only for us but also for those calves as they could potentially get caught in the fence or by each other by moving around quickly. The next step now is to go down and get the cows and heifers and drive them into pasture 9. Well, as you can see, it didn't take long for our two breeding bulls, Canuck and Denali, to seize the opportunity to say hi to the females as they were moving past pasture 8 they're currently in. When we drive our bison down the alleyway, we like to make sure we keep it low stress for them. When bison's stressed, they will eat. So typically we like to let them graze a little bit as they're moving down the alleyway to keep that stress down and making sure that they're moving the right direction. We're moving them now into pasture 9. Well, it appears that the bull calf we just let out of the corral is pretty happy and content with where he's at now in the calf herd. So far the cows are doing pretty good over here, as you can see. Usually we're dropping the cows and heifers up here in pasture 9. There's like Gregor's. Push them a little bit there. Alright guys, what we need to do now is come out of the alleyway and circle back around into the hay lot, and then we can start pushing those calves back to where we need them to go. Alright, so we're going to be bringing the cows and heifers into this lot, the hay lot, where we'll be able to keep a little closer eye on them. We'll be able to maintain their water a little better back here. They're really consuming a lot of water right now with these warmer temperatures. But with the rain coming as well, we want to make sure that they're not going to tear up our pastures. And us driving back and forth to give them as much water as they're going to need. The new bull calf here that's not wanting to follow the rest of the herd through. He probably just doesn't know where to go. There he goes.
Where'd he go? Well, the first long drive to get the CAD 5 here. Here, guys, this is a perfect example. I always talk about putting the gate the right direction. These two bull calves here were on the wrong side. There they go. It's best practice to make sure your gates are open to the direction you're wanting to drive the bison to. Luckily, those two stayed pretty calm during that time. It was able just to walk back around the gate and then get caught back up with the herd. As you can see in the video, again, it's a low stress move. We really don't want to put a lot of pressure on these calves that are going down the alleyway. For some of them, this is the first time they've been down our alleyway and into our pasture. We'll keep the calves in this pasture for the next 3 to 4 days. It's got a little bit of green grass coming up, so I'm sure they'll enjoy that. This next drive was the one that had us nervous all day, knowing that we had to drive these cows and these heifers past their calves that are in pasture 7. The first part of this drive should be fairly simple as we go past pasture 8 that's holding the bulls. The next challenge will be pasture 7 that the calves are in. This is where we could potentially have some problems with those calves wanting to meet up with the cows and their mothers again. We managed to drive these cows and heifers halfway past pasture 7 before the calves realized what was going on. As you can see in the last part of this video clip, they come running over, which definitely created a concern for us that these calves may try to come through the fence or the cow may try to do the same. When I stopped the Ranger and got off, these cows were about 100 yards away. I didn't have much time and they were right there at the gate wanting to come through. Luckily, Riker brought a flag over and I was able to help push them back. Well, we had one more small pasture to drive this herd through and the next gate was open. All right, guys, so here we are. We are back up to the front of the hay lot here, and we're going to release our new cow that we brought back here last weekend into our cow and heifer herd. So earlier in the video you seen, we just took the bull calf that was out of here that was with her, and we moved him out with our other bull calves. We have a few other small heifers that are with that group as well, but we talk about releasing them at this dark time. It tends to be a little better time, we feel like, to release these new animals out into our herd. So she's pretty aggressive. We'll see how she's going to do, but I think ultimately our herd's going to accept her in time. So we'll see how this goes. All right, so we have a small opening right here. I don't think she'll try to go through it, but we'll see how this goes. We'll pin this gate back over here. There we go. And then what I'll do is I'll come back around this way here. See how she's gonna do coming out. So we got about half an hour, 40 minutes before it gets dark, which we like to think is a good time to introduce these new bison to our herd. So she's out and she's going the wrong direction where we want her to go. But we don't want to be too aggressive and try to push her too hard. She's not familiar with this area and she's not been out of the corral yet, so. There she goes. Now she's going the right direction. She's going over there where Denali's at.
If you enjoy our videos and our pictures, keep up with the herd by liking and following our page. And until next time, thanks for watching.